rwo guteza imbere ubwikorezi ku mugabane wa Afurika kuko nimwe mu nkingi mwikorezi ishobora kuzateza imbere ubukungu bw'uyu mugabane mu myaka iri imbere ndetse n'ibyerekezo bitandukanye umugabane wa Afurika warihaye birumvikana. Ikindi twavuga ni ukurebera hamwe imbogamizi zaba zigihari mu gukoma mu nkokora abana b'abakobwa mu kwinjira muri uyu mwuga nyirizina, kuko imibare igaragaza ko abagore bitabira gutwara indege cyangwa se b'abapilote bakiri hasi cyane. Muri aya masaha munyemerere kuri televiziyo Rwanda twakire Esther Mbabazi, n'umwe mu banyarwandakazi bitinyutse batwara indege kugeza amagingo aya ngaya araza kutubwira anadusangize ubunararibonye amaranye imyaka 15 atwara muri RwandaTV cyangwa se muri societe ya RwandaTV mu Rwanda. Esther, reka twitkaze muri studio za televiziyo Rwanda.
Murakoze.
Uyu munsi turavuga ko umaze imyaka 15 utwara indege muri RwandaTV. Esther Mbabazi ni muntu ki kugeza amagingo aya ngaya, nihe experience ubunararibonye wakuyemo? Twavuga ko wanitinyutse uba umwe mu banyarwandakazi babaye kapiteni mu minsi ishize, nabyo raza kwitubwiraho. Ikaze.
Murakoze cyane. Nkuko mubizi nitwa Mbabazi Esther, nkaba ari ngewe mu ba pilote ba mbere, uretse no kuba umudamu mu pilote b'abanyarwanda ba mbere. Nkaba naratangiye gukorera kuri RwandaTV mu gihe RwandaTV yari ifite imihigo yo gutangira kwiyubaka, noneho bashaka n'abapilote b'abanyarwanda. Rero akaba ari umwuga mazemo imyaka 15, akaba ari ahantu nakuriye, nagizemo experience. Natwaye indege nyinshi buriya muri iyo myaka 15. Natwaye indege z'ubwoko butatu zigizwe na Bombardier na Boeing, akaba ariyo ndiho n'ubu ngubu, ndetse na Airbus. Ikindi nashaka kuvuga, kuba gutinyuka gutwara indege ni ibintu n'inzozi mbega nari mfite nkiri muto, ariko nyuma nza kuzikurikirana, ariko noneho nyuma nza no kugira amahirwe yuko leta y'u Rwanda yamfashe mu mugongo, aho byari binkomereye nkakomezanya training na leta biciye muri RwandaTV, nkaba ngeze aho ngeze, nkaba ndi ku rwego rwo kuba nabwira abandi bakobwa, cyangwa nkaba nk'ikiraro gifasha abandi bakobwa kugira ngo twikure ku mubare wa rimwe kwijana, tugeze nibura, numvise bafite intego zo kugira ngo tugere kuri 30 nibura mu yindi myaka nk'icumi.
Mbabazi, iyo imibare igaragaza ko mu bapilote 100 haba harimo umupilotekazi umwe ku mugabane wa Afurika, ni imibare ikiri hasi cyane. Ni izihe mbogamizi mubona nkamwe mwamaze gusogongera kuri uyu mwuga? Mwahuye n'izihe mbogamizi kandi munabona zishobora gukoma mu nkokora abana b'abakobwa kwinjira muri uyu mwuga muri rusange?
Umwuga ntabwo ari muri Afurika gusa, uhereye no ku mugabane w'isi, imibare nge numva ntangira twari 5%. Ubu ku isi bashobora kuba bageze nka 7%. 6%. So ni ukuvuga ko tukiri hasi. Muri Amerika ngira ngo niho ari ho 7%. So ni ukuvuga ngo ku isi yose imibare iracyari hasi. Rero niho dufite shoti nk'abanyarwanda kugira ngo twizamure mu mibare, tube nanone icyitegererezo nk'uko twabikoze ahandi. Impamvu imibare iri hasi, hari impamvu nyinshi. Hari icyambere, kubera mu myaka yashize urumva abategarugori n'abakobwa rwari umurimo babonaga nk'uw'abagabo, ariko ibyo ngibyo bikaba bijyanye n'uko nta information, nta bumenyi bari babifitemo. Akenshi usanga iyo nta muntu uhafite, buri muntu wese akomatekereza ko ari ibintu bikomeye bikenera imbaraga physique z'abagabo. Mu myaka yashize byari byo, mu myaka irenga 50 yashize, ariko mu ndege ubu ngubu zirimo zirasohoka ziri automatize ku buryo umuntu akoresha mu mutwe kurusha yuko akoresha imbaraga. Ikindi nama policies usanga agoranye, ku buryo usanga umuntu agera ahantu agasigara inyuma y'abandi. Ni umwuga uba ukeneye kuba physically fit, ni ukuvuga ngo ugomba kuba ufite medical, ikintu twita medical, ni ukuvuga ngo ugomba kuba wuzuje ufite ubuzima mbega buzima pe. So buri mezi 6 cyangwa buri mwaka turagenda abaganga bakadupima. Rero iyo hajemo nko gutwita cyangwa ikindi kintu kuzamo, kandi biri natural ku bagore ari ibintu bisanzwe, usanga bagenda basigara inyuma ukasanga no kugera muri retirement bitindaho gato.
Mbabazi reka tugushimire. Arakoze cyane Esther Mbabazi, umwe mu banyarwandakazi bitinyutse, akaba ari kapiteni w'indege. Ni umwe mu bantu mu by'ukuri imyaka 15 birumvikana afite ubunararibonye, afite ndetse n'ibyo yasangiza abana b'abakobwa bagenzi be bakiri batoya kandi bafite indoto zo kuzagera kuri byinshi mu by'ukuri muri uyu mwuga. Ngira ngo televiziyo Rwanda natwe turahangaha muri KCC kugira ngo dukurikirane ibiganiro bigiye kwatangirwa, ndetse namwe mubana natwe muraza kumva ubutumwa buraza gutangirwamo muri rusange. Ntekereza ko muraza kuryoherwa mu kanya gatoya. Turaza kwakira abashyitsi ndetse na event, igikorwa kiraza kuba gitangiye, muraza kugikurikirana imbona nkubone ndetse n'inyumva nkumve. Kurikira turi muri Kigali Convention Center, hagiye kubera inama y'iminsi ibiri. Ni inama yateguwe na African Aviation ariko ifatanyije nanone by'umwihariko n'ishyirahamwe mpuzamahanga ry'abapilotekazi batwara indege ndetse no ku mugabane wa Afurika. Mu kanya gatoya ntekereza ko igikorwa nyirizina kiraba gitangiye. Birumvikana ni umwanya mwiza ku gihugu nk'u Rwanda kwakira abashyitsi nk'aba ngaba, ariko by'umwihariko haba harimo n'abayobozi bakomeye bayobora ibigo bitandukanye. N'amahirwe yabyazwa umusaruro n'abanyarwanda bashaka mu by'ukuri gukorana cyangwa se kugira ubufatanye n'ibyo bigo bitandukanye kuri mugabane wa Afurika. Ni inama mu by'ukuri bigamije kurebera hamwe ndetse no gukorana bya hafi kugira ngo umugabane wa Afurika ukomeze gutera imbere ndetse no kwishakamo ibisubizo by'ibibazo bibangamiye Afurika, cyane cyane mu byiciro cyangwa se mu cyiciro cyo guteza imbere ubwikorezi. Birumvikana ibiraza kuganirwa ahangaha, harasangirwa ubunararibonye kugira ngo ibyo bibazo biganirweho muri rusange, kugira ngo n'imbogamizi zaba zihari zishakirwe umuti. U Rwanda ni kimwe mu bihugu bifite inyota yo gukomeza guteza imbere ubwikorezi bwo mu kirere. Ngira ngo biranazwi ukurikije ibyerekezo igihugu gifite mu guteza imbere ibikorwa remezo by'ubwikorezi. Turabizi neza ikibuga mpuzamahanga cya Kigali giherereye mu karere ka Bugesera, ingendo cyangwa se guteza imbere ingendo za sosiyete ya Rwanda hirya no hino ku isi, cyane cyane ku mugabane wa Afurika. Ibyo byose twavuga ko ari ibikorwa bikomeye cyane biba bishaka kureshya abashoramari cyane cyane abagana u Rwanda ndetse n'abanyarwanda. Birumvikana abajya gushora imari mu bihugu bitandukanye. Ntekereza ko rero ibiba bikorwa n'ubuyobozi bwiza bw'u Rwanda ku cyerekezo bushaka kugira ngo abanyarwanda mu myaka iri imbere igihugu hari aho kizaba kivuye naho kigeze. Kandi ibyakozwe mu myaka 31 ishize jenoside ihagaritswe biratanga isura nziza ko 2050 hari aho igihugu kizaba kigeze mu iterambere kandi mu mfuruka zose. Abari ahangaha baraza kuganira cyane cyane nanone ku ruhare rw'umwana w'umukobwa mu kwinjira mu mwuga wo gutwara indege, kuko twavuga ko nimba tuvuga mu bapilote 100 ku mugabane wa Afurika haba harimo umugore umwe, ni ikigaragaza ko harimo icyuho. Si no ku mugabane wa Afurika gusa, ariko nanone ku rundi ruhande ku rwego rw'isi, kuko mu bapilote 100 ku isi harimo abagore 6 cyangwa se 6%. Ni imibare igaragaza ko hari kigomba gukorwa kugira ngo abana b'abakobwa nabo biyumvemo bashoboye, cyane cyane nk'igihugu cy'u Rwanda cyatanze amahirwe ku bana bose, uburezi bw'abana bose, cyane cyane guteza imbere uburezi bw'umwana w'umukobwa, aho twabonye ko nabo bashoboye. Ngira ngo mu kanya twaganiraga na Esther Mbabazi, umwana w'umunyarwandakazi witinyutse, akaba amaze imyaka 15 mu by'ukuri muri Rwanda. Ntekereza ko ubuhamya yasangije abanyarwanda n'abanyarwandakazi ndetse n'abanyamahanga ahangaha bukangura intekerezo za benshi muri rusange mu rwego rwo gukomeza guteza imbere umwana w'umukobwa. So reka natwe tugaruke mu kanya, ngira ngo umuhango ugiye gutangira nyirizina. Nimukomeza gukurikira televiziyo Rwanda muraryoherwa.
Please rise and help me welcome His Excellency Paul Kagame, the President of the Republic of Rwanda. You may take your seats. Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for making time to be with us this morning. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Mwaramutse. My name is Fiona Mbabazi, and it is my absolute pleasure to welcome you to the 9th edition of the Aviation Africa Summit and Exhibition 2025 taking place here in Kigali, Rwanda. As the Rwanda tagline reminds us, the dream of Africa, the skies connect not just destinations, but people, opportunities, and dreams. The gathering is more than a conference. It is a runway for ideas, partnerships, and solutions that will shape the future of aviation across our continent and beyond. So, ladies and gentlemen, fasten your seatbelts, keep your minds open, and let's take off on this journey together. Welcome to Aviation Africa 2025, Murakaza neza i Kigali. Now, to officially begin, please welcome Mr. Alan Piford, the conference chairman of Aviation Africa, for his remarks. A round of applause, please.
Mr. President, Your Excellencies, Ministers, Directors General, Air Chiefs, honoured guests, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed. Welcome to the 9th edition of the Aviation Africa Summit and Exhibition as we return to our spiritual home and our anchor hub, Kigali. This event continues to grow at an amazing rate, and today we see record numbers with almost 2,000 registered delegates, including 9 ministers attending, 20 air chiefs, 30 directors general of civil aviation, plus representatives from across Europe and elsewhere with regulators attending. We recognise that much of this success is due to our partners, the Rwandan government and its forward-thinking Civil Aviation Authority, which has worked tirelessly over the past year to help us realise our goal to help facilitate the development of aviation across the continent. Rwanda is well recognised as a leader in collaboration and action, not just sharing a vision for transformation, but working with others to deliver it. Their values are reflected in our central theme this year, collaborating to unlock Africa's growth. And the presence of so many of the leaders of the African aviation community suggests we have the opportunity this week to address the difficult issues that cause the blockages that will be able to be broken if we work together. Some 120 exhibitors and the presence of 90-odd airlines and aircraft operators suggests there is a willingness to get together and to be heard. I, for one, am getting a bit tired of hearing about Africa's great potential. Actually, the future is now. Many of the barriers that stop us succeeding to that potential are self-inflicted. Africa's aviation sector issues, and they include the high costs from expensive fuel and airport taxes, to poor infrastructure, some outdated airports and limited capacity, regulatory and policy hurdles like protectionist policies, and slow acceptance of SATM. There's a shortage of skilled workers and safety concerns stemming from gaps in implementing international standards. These challenges lead to poor intra-African connectivity. It leads to operational inefficiencies and hinders economic growth. Working together with a will to succeed, we can resolve these challenges. Now, during the 2 days of this event, you'll see a number of young people, part of a program for the aviators of tomorrow. Our industry has to attract the youth. We have to be more diverse, and we have to step up and assure there is appropriate training and opportunities for young people to find their place in our future. And I would urge our exhibitors to talk to those young people as they visit their booths and show them just how much this industry can offer. And it's varied. It's not just about flying the planes. It really is about offering future prosperity for Africa and Africans. And we're going to see real examples of the future here, and more on that later. But, Mr. President, I congratulate you on the initiatives that are being shown to young people in Rwanda and in the region to help promote our industry and develop the training and opportunities that will fulfill dreams. A healthy air transport is capable of financing itself with prices that are affordable to the greatest number of people. Lower ticket prices will increase demand and help develop a sustainable industry. This relies on states removing any obstacles that prevent that drop in prices. A healthy aviation industry facilitates tourism, trade, connectivity, generates economic growth, provides jobs, improves living standards, alleviates poverty, provides a lifeline for remote communities, and enables a rapid response when disasters occur. Surely it's a no-brainer. And that is why we're here, and why we should listen, challenge, and plan together. I wish you all a successful summit, and thank you for having us here.
Thank you very much, Mr. Pifford, for those insightful words and for championing this important platform, but also not forgetting the youth. Now, my next speaker is Mr. Florent Serge Zota, the President of the Bureau of the Africa Civil Aviation Commission, AFCAC. Please help me welcome him on stage.
Excellences, Monsieur le Président de la République du Rwanda, Mesdames et Messieurs les ministres chefs de délégation, Mesdames et Messieurs les représentants de la Commission de l'Union africaine, distingués directeurs généraux de l'aviation civile, Madame la secrétaire générale de la CAFAC, directeurs régionaux de l'OACI, représentants des organisations régionales et internationales, leaders de l'industrie aéronautique, Mesdames et Messieurs, c'est un privilège tout particulier pour moi de prendre la parole dans ce haut lieu qui est le Radisson Blu Hotel et Convention Centre de Kigali, devenu symbole de rencontres de haut niveau et de visions partagées pour l'avenir de notre continent. Permettez-moi, avant toute chose, d'exprimer au gouvernement du Rwanda, à l'autorité de l'aviation civile du Rwanda et à la Société des aéroports du Rwanda, notre profonde gratitude pour leur hospitalité légendaire et l'organisation remarquable de cette conférence. Ce rendez-vous annuel est désormais l'un des forums les plus importants pour l'industrie aéronautique africaine. Il réunit ici à Kigali non seulement des décideurs politiques, mais également des régulateurs, des compagnies aériennes, des gestionnaires des aéroports, des constructeurs, des financiers, des partenaires de services et des innovateurs. Ensemble, nous formons un écosystème complet dont la force repose sur l'unité et la complémentarité. Le thème choisi de cette édition, collaborer pour libérer la croissance de l'aviation africaine, comment bâtir une industrie aéronautique durable. Il est à la fois inspirant et révélateur, car il souligne une vérité fondamentale. Aucun État, aucune compagnie, aucune institution ne peut isolément libérer le plein potentiel de l'aviation africaine. La collaboration est notre clé, la durabilité, notre boussole. Excellences, en tant que Commission africaine de l'aviation civile, en sigle CAFAC, nous avons reçu mandat de promouvoir l'intégration continentale à travers le marché unique du transport aérien africain, en sigle MOUTA, projet phare de l'agenda 2063 de l'Union africaine. Le MOUTA n'est pas un simple instrument technique de transport, il est un catalyseur de croissance économique, un moteur de la ZLECAf et un vecteur d'intégration régionale et sociale. Les avancées sont notables. 38 États représentant plus de 80% du trafic intra-africain ont déjà adhéré. Nos projets pilotes, nos tournées de sensibilisation et nos démonstrations pratiques ont montré que la libéralisation est non seulement possible, mais bénéfique. Pourtant, les défis persistent. Fragmentation réglementaire, accès limité au marché, déficit d'infrastructures, charges fiscales excessives et besoin de supervision rigoureuse en matière de sécurité, de sûreté et de l'environnement. C'est pourquoi nous affirmons que la collaboration est le cœur de la durabilité. Collaborer pour ouvrir davantage nos marchés, en appliquant sans réserve la décision de Yamoussoukro. Collaborer pour harmoniser nos réglementations et garantir un ciel africain sûr, compétitif et attractif. Collaborer pour bâtir des infrastructures résilientes, capables de soutenir la croissance future. Collaborer pour mobiliser les financements et les partenariats publics-privés qui combleront nos déficits de capacité. Collaborer enfin pour intégrer pleinement la dimension environnementale et sociale afin que notre industrie soit non seulement prospère, mais aussi responsable et inclusive. Excellences, Mesdames et Messieurs, les cieux africains, ce ne sont pas seulement des avions, des aéroports. Ce sont nos peuples qui voyagent, nos jeunes qui trouvent un emploi, nos agriculteurs qui accèdent à de nouveaux marchés, nos étudiants qui saisissent des opportunités, nos entreprises qui conquièrent de nouveaux horizons. L'aviation africaine, ce sont des vies qui se connectent, des nations qui se rapprochent et un continent qui s'affirme sur la scène mondiale. En ce sens, l'Afrique ne peut plus se contenter de suivre. Elle doit façonner son ciel à l'image de son ambition. Elle doit transformer ses défis en levier d'innovation et sans contrainte en opportunités de croissance. Au nom de la CAFAC, je rends hommage aux organisateurs de ce sommet, à nos hôtes et à chacun de vous ici présents. Je vous invite à faire de ces 2 jours de débat et d'échange une véritable fabrique de solutions et de partenariats pour que le rêve d'une aviation africaine durable soit réalité. Je vous remercie de votre aimable attention et vous souhaite des délibérations fructueuses.
Merci beaucoup, Mr. Zotter. Thank you very much, Mr. Zotter, for challenging us that there is a need for collaboration if we are to have a moving ecosystem that will help us do better as an African continent. Thank you very much. Please, another round of applause. I now invite Mr. Prosper Zominto, the Director General of ASECNA, to share his remarks.
Excellences, Monsieur le Président de la République du Rwanda, Messieurs, Mesdames les membres du gouvernement du Rwanda, Messieurs les ministres, participants,
Honorable ministers, participants to this gathering,
permettez-moi tout d'abord d'adresser
allow me to first of all congratulate Rwanda
de perpétuer cette initiative
for perpetuating this initiative that allows the political leadership
de l'industrie
and the industry leadership
partenaire
and partners
de voir
to
l'état d'avancement
see
du système de la
and the progress in Africa's civil aviation industry.
Nous avons
We
une obligation
have the obligation to collaborate, like it's been said on many occasions.
Pourquoi? Parce que nous avons
Why?
un rêve
Because we have this dream
d'un ciel africain
of African skies that accommodate civilian traffic, which is conventional. Actors
les drones,
like drones.
et c'est symbolique qu'on se réunisse ici.
It's important that we gather here to look at those advanced initiatives
Qui n'est pas encore
that have been being used, but without standards sometimes. So this is the drone industry, which is developing spectacularly.
temps de crise,
We've seen this during crisis with the major risk that we remember, the COVID-19 crisis.
pour que
Now, for our skies to
nos aéroports soient au rendez-vous,
be included, for our airports to be included, for the air transport industry to be to participate fully in the development economic of our states,
l'Union africaine
the African Union with OACI, innovating, modernizing, and it has to be adapted vis-à-vis the present demand in air transport.
si la part du trafic aérien
Even though air transport
du continent
on the continent
est souvent
is
considéré
often considered minimal.
parlons de moins de
We're
5%
talking about less than 5% of, in terms of contribution of that traffic, but its growth continues to
le système
be visible. If you look at the pressure we see in terms of capacity that is needed and in terms of security.
l'organisation
The organization that I represent
d'une vingtaine
has brought together about 20 African states,
ensemble
and together
ont délégué
they delegated
fourniture des
to the organization the provision of air services so we can have sure services. And for that, we need
de rénover,
to renovate,
moderniser
to modernize our equipment, and to make sure that we have the human resources that are competent in a field where technology becomes more complex, it evolves in a continuous way. And SEGNA
donc ce rôle
plays that role of providing air navigation services. It manages airports.
gère aussi
It also manages schools, training centers. And I'm mentioning these elements because we have gaps in terms of infrastructure. So we have a problem with airports, and it's been said already. And the less airports are certified, some airports are underutilized. So there's a lot to do. So we need to agree on those. So we have the world leaders and technicians, and we have regional technicians and competent people. And under the African Union and the Civil Aviation Commission, we have cadres and frameworks that allow us to collaborate on those projects that will provide integration. And as I speak, we're examining with the African Union the last analysis of those gaps to resolve the funding problem. That is an important factor if you look at what's lacking in air navigation. And that analysis will result into bankable projects which will require the participation of partners, African Development Bank, to see how we integrate those modern technologies in our air transport and air transport projects. So there's an advanced project, and thanks to the African Union, and I'm talking about the setting up of a system, a satellite-based system, and ASECNA is champion of that. It's about taking advantage of satellite technologies to cover the whole of the continent and facilitate terrestrial infrastructure to allow air transport to improve in the necessary security measures with the efficiency that we need. And we've been talking about time in terms of air transport. We've been talking about the economy. We're talking about accessibility, not only to markets, but we're talking about connectivity for the African citizen. Intra-African tourism is only 15%. And why? Because air transport is expensive. So let's cooperate to reach that objective, so you don't have to travel to take 3 days from Dakar to Kigali. It's because we don't have infrastructure, a legal framework that allows us to do that. So let's continue work together and invest fully in frameworks that exist, so we can learn from one another, and together we will converge towards the objectives that we have set as a region. So by 2044, as it were, which means when traffic is going to double, so we may be comfortable, so we will have airports that are up to standards with the sure skies, a unique African sky that is homogeneous. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Prosper Zominto, the Director General of ASECNA, who emphasized that navigation is not only about the airspace, it's actually about charting Africa's course to the future, embracing technology, but also ensuring that we have enough financial support to ensure that all our dreams come to pass. And now it is my greatest honor to invite Rwanda's Minister for Infrastructure to deliver his remarks, Dr. Jimmy Gasore. A round of applause, please.
Your Excellency Paul Kagame, President of the Republic of Rwanda, honorable ministers, Air Chief of Staff, heads of civil aviation authorities, CEOs and captains of industries, representatives of regional and international organizations, partners and stakeholders, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is my profound honor and pleasure to welcome you all to Kigali for the 2025 Aviation Africa Summit and exhibitions. Our gathering today at the Heart of Africa is a sign of shared commitment to building an aviation sector that is more connected, more innovative, and more inclusive. For Rwanda, aviation is not just a mode of transport. It is a strategic enabler of development. We are excited to integrate the Africa Drone Forum, ADF, into this summit, reaffirming Rwanda's position as a hub for regulatory aviation, future air mobility, and technology-driven solutions. I want to thank our co-organizers, Times Aerospace Events and the Aerocom Limited, for their dedication and professionalism in preparing this event. I also thank all sponsors, partners, and exhibitors to believing in Africa's aviation story. Let us use this summit to accelerate the conversations that matter. Let us think boldly, act strategically, and work collaboratively. To our international guests, we say, Murakoze, welcome to Rwanda. Thank you all, and I wish you a fruitful deliberations. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Minister, for your remarks. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now my greatest honor and privilege to welcome our President, President Paul Kagame, the President of the Republic of Rwanda. Please, a round of applause as he comes to the stage. Please rise.
Please be seated. Honorable Ministers, RNP Ford Summit Chairman, Prosper Zuminto, Director General of ASECNA, friend Serge Zota, President of the African Civil Aviation Commission, Air Chiefs, airline CEOs and heads of civil aviation, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I am pleased to join you for the opening ceremony of the 2025 Aviation Summit. I wish to begin by thanking the organizers for once again bringing this event to Rwanda. And to all our guests, I welcome you to Kigali. We are honored to host you. Since its inception, the Aviation Africa Summit has been pivotal in showing how much growth Africa's aviation industry has experienced in a very short time. And with all the exhibitors and the sponsors present, we also see how much more potential the aviation sector has to offer. This is really relative to the scarcity in that sector. I want to single out Rwanda's partnership with Zipline, which is represented here today. About a decade ago, we began working closely together to use drones for delivery of urgent blood supplies to health facilities across our country. This technology does not only save time, it also saves lives. Our collaboration has been very successful, and together we are exploring how to extend it to urban deliveries. This is the foundation of key industries of the future, like e-commerce. Today, for the first time in Africa, a self-flying air taxi will take to the skies. We are very happy to be part of this demonstration and look forward to seeing what will come next. For Africa, the vision is very clear: to invest in a strong and more dynamic aviation sector as a necessary building block for economic growth. With a growing middle class and increasing tourism, the demand for air travel will only get stronger. The numbers speak for themselves. In the coming years, passenger traffic on our continent is expected to double. At the continental level, efforts have been made to open our skies through initiatives such as the Single Air Africa Air Transport Market. The African Continental Free Trade Area is also a key enabler of prosperity. Rwanda continues to play its part by putting in place conducive regulations and policies, and we encourage others to do the same. For example, we have removed visa restrictions for all African citizens. Empowering women and girls to pursue careers in the aviation industry must also be our priority. If implemented successfully, these frameworks can create more jobs and a stronger foundation for innovation. Rwanda, our national carrier, is also expanding its fleet. Unfortunately, our continent continues to face high operational costs and infrastructure gaps. This makes the movement of people and cargo more expensive than it should be. travel should not only be for the rich. We all need to work more closely with our institutions, notably the African Union and the SECNA, and it is important to strengthen these institutions and ensure they are fit for purpose, to play a central role in achieving the vision of one sky and free movement on our continent. The bottom line is that we can achieve much more if we work together. We have all the resources and the capabilities we need. Once again, I wish to welcome you all to Kigali and thank you for finding the time to be here for this very important gathering. I hope the summit will renew our momentum towards building the Africa that we all want and deserve to have. Enjoy your stay with us, and I wish you all a very productive meeting. Thank you once again.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for your impactful words and for sharing your vision for the future of African aviation. Ladies and gentlemen, with the President's address, the 9th Aviation Africa Summit and Exhibition 2025 is officially open. Now, over the next 2 days, we will be exchanging insights on growth, sustainability, innovation, and resilience, the very pillars that keep our industry flying high. Welcome once again to Kigali, and let's make this summit a milestone for Africa's aviation. We have now come to the end of this opening ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, may I kindly ask you to rise as our guest of honor, His Excellency the President of the Republic of Rwanda, departs. Please, another round of applause. Thank you very much. We request that all other participants kindly remain seated. Other participants kindly remain seated. We'll now be heading towards the demonstration of our first ever flight demonstration. Now, this is a milestone for Africa, for it is the first ever display of its kind. It is giving us a glimpse into the near future and demonstration of how Africa's demonstration is accepting our technology and its advancements.
Umukuru w'igihugu cy'u Rwanda nyakubahwa Perezida wa Repubulika Paul Kagame akaba amaze gufungura inama ku mugaragaro mu mbwirwaruhame zatambutse cyangwa se zimaze kuvugwa na bamwe mu bayobozi bakomeye bagarutse ku bibazo bigikomereye ubwikorezi bwo mu kirere ku mugabane wa Afurika, harimo ibikorwa remezo bikiri bike mu bihugu bitandukanye by'uyu mugabane, ubumenyi bukiri buke ku bakora muri uru rwego ndetse n'umutekano muke nabyo byakomojweho, harimo umubare w'urubyiruko ukiri muke mu rwego rw'ubwikorezi bwo mu kirere kandi ari rwo rukwiye kuba amizero y'iterambere ry'uyu mugabane. Harimo kandi nanone igihatsi kindi ni imikoranire nkene hagati y'ibihugu bigize uyu mugabane kugira ngo ubwikorezi bwo mu kirere bugerweho kandi bunateza imbere by'umwihariko ku mugabane wa Afurika. bamwe mu bayobozi bakomeye kandi banatanze ubutumwa bibanze ku nsanganyamatsiko iyi nama irimo kwibandaho cyangwa se kugarukaho, harimo gukuraho imbogamizi zikibangamiye imikoranire mu guteza imbere ubwikorezi bwo mu kirere. Bagaragaje ko urufunguzo rw'ibi byose ari imikoranire y'ibihugu kugira ngo Afurika igere ku iterambere yifuza binyuze mu guteza imbere ubwikorezi bwo mu kirere. Mu ijambo umukuru w'igihugu amaze kugeza ku bayobozi batandukanye ndetse n'abandi bitabiriye uyu muhango, yashimiye abagize inama mu Rwanda. Yanavuze kandi ko inama nk'izi zagiye zaba nkingi mwikorezi mu kuganira ku cyateza imbere urwego rw'ubwikorezi bwo mu kirere ku mugabane wa Afurika, ariko kandi anashimira abashoramari bahisemo u Rwanda nka Zipline. Agaruka ku ruhare Zipline yagize mu mibereho y'abanyarwanda muri rusange, ndetse anagaragaza ko yishimiye drone zitwara abantu zageze mu Rwanda. Yagaragaje ko binyuze mu isoko rusange ry'umugabane wa Afurika hari amahirwe menshi yo gukoresha ikirere mu kugera ku bukungu uyu mugabane wifuza mu byerekezo bitandukanye. Ngira ngo rero bakunzi ba televiziyo Rwanda, turacyari hano muri Convention Center, n'ubundi inama iracyakomeje. Dukomeje kubararika kugira ngo nimucikwe na gahunda televiziyo Rwanda ikomeje kubagezaho muri aya masaha. Nge ndi Calixte Kaberuka.